All right, last story I'm going to get to before we get to your questions. And this is similar here of what we were just talking about, but this time the theater owners are speculated to have been too afraid of Disney to oppose its acquisition of 20th Century Fox. I already kind of feel like you know where this is going. They probably said, well, we don't want them to not put Marvel and Star Wars in our theaters, so it's okay. A new report regarding the Warner Brothers Paramount merger, theater owners were speculated to have either been too afraid or too trusting of Disney to speak out about its merger with the 20th Century Fox. With Paramount Warner Brothers merger seeming on the horizon, an older deal is being discussed again. In this case, the older deal refers to one of the biggest acquisitions in entertainment history. That was Disney's merger with Fox. Given the scale of the deal between Ellison and Zaslav's entertainment giants, the 2019 acquisition is being brought up an example of what can go wrong in mega mergers. Case in point, the Wrap published a report on the state of the industry as it prepares for the sale of WBD. The article explores the worry around Hollywood over potential diminished film output from Warner Brothers and presents an interesting possibility on why the Disney-Fox merger was arguably not met with as much opposition as Warner Brothers is presently encountering. Though David Ellison is said to be committed to the theatrical model, an executive of a major theater chain who spoke to the Wrap cast doubt on there not being some sort of disruption to Warner Brothers Discovery's usually prolific movie slate. Disney promised that they wouldn't cut back on the number of movies 20th Century was putting out, and they did. And yeah, we see that now, and there's a lot of frustration, but no one said anything at the time. The decline in projects was indeed drastic. As shown in the report, 20th Century Fox released 16 films in 2017 and 15 in 2018 before experiencing a drastic slowdown after being absorbed by Disney, releasing only 2 films in 2024, 5 in 2025. Asked why there seemed to be little pushback from theater owners during that merger, the unnamed executive said it was because they either trusted Disney or they were afraid of Disney. It may sound odd to them, but there was a reason behind those two possibilities. As mentioned by the Wrap, at the time of the merger, Disney was arguably the most powerful company in Hollywood. Just in the 2018-2019 period, the studio had multiple hits, including Black Panther, Avengers Infinity War, Incredibles 2, Captain Marvel. Disney seemed to be, to put it plainly, dominating the industry at the time, hence the theory of a theater owner being both trusted and afraid of the company. Of course, keeping in mind that this is speculation of the executive's part, however, it's still important to consider, given it comes from an individual with firsthand experience of the environment in the theater industry discovering the Disney-Fox merger. The perception of Disney at the time of the acquisition is quite different from what it is now. Things have changed in recent years for the company as multiple properties have failed to find an audience. Perhaps the biggest shift for the media giant has been Marvel. A lot of the projects that once allowed Disney to be top of the entertainment industry when it purchased 20th Century Fox were Marvel titles. Recent years, though, it's been in decline. We know that. We've talked about that. Okay. So, again, this is another one. As I read this, it makes all the sense in the world. Of course, at the time, they were frightened by Disney. It's like, wait a minute. If we speak up against them, they're not going to put their movies in our theater. And we're going to be screwed. All this concessions and everything we said, Avengers and Incredibles and Black Panther. I mean, holy moly. We can't, what are we going to do? And they got Star Wars too, guys. What are we going to do? We're going to do nothing. I'm not going to say nothing. And so they're saying stuff now because also the theaters have also declined in general because there's without those big hits and everybody excited to see stuff. Remember, at a time, Marvel was the only thing getting people in theaters. And now that's not even the case. Now Disney still, now, definitely not as powerful and not as bulletproof as you will. They still got 2 big ones coming out by the end of this year. I think right now Warner Brothers still holds the title for biggest box office. That's going to be over by the end of the year. Disney will win because you're going to have Avatar and you're going to have Zootopia 2, and that's it. Those 2 titles are going to put them in the lead again. So if your theater's like, yeah, we need their stuff, we're not going to say anything. But it's also the theaters can say whatever the hell they want, but it's like we had in our previous conversation, they got to change some stuff before they worry about who's coming to see their movies and less movies. Does it really matter if I got to go with some guy putting his feet up and eating a burrito in the middle of it and while he's texting his grandmother about God knows what and laughing his balls off? I don't want to go to that. No thanks. I don't want to be there for that. So you need to change that before you're worried about mergers. But mergers are a real thing where it's like, okay, what is that? Look, if Netflix bought Warner Brothers. I'd be terrified if I was the theater because Netflix has been so adamant in saying we're not doing theatrical releases. Now, it could be very different. We're like, well, we're buying a theatrical brand. We're not going to change that. Maybe it is more beneficial where Ted Sarandos goes, we're going to buy this thing. And for people who want to make movies with us now that need theatrical releases, we'll make them on the Warner Brothers side of things. If you want to make it through Netflix and get our Netflix budgets, you're gonna put it on streaming. But if you want to lower those costs a little bit, and you want to get things theatrically, well, then we'll release it on the Warner Brothers side. So there is a beneficial side to Netflix buying Warner Brothers. And then if that's the case, then the theaters go, Netflix got it, and I like their deal. Where Paramount could be more similar to what Disney did with Fox. Like, well, they said they're not going to cut back the movies, but they did. Paramount bought it, and Paramount's only putting out this amount. Warner Bros. Only put this amount, and we're not getting as many movies. So it's interesting. It's interesting in general, but I completely buy the report that they were not going to say anything at the time because Disney was their cash cow. It wasn't just the fact they were scared. It's like that's how they were making their money. So maybe scared, I guess, is the word. But I mean, it's like we got to let them do what they're going to do because they're the ones that there's the whole reason that I can feed my family right now because no one else is coming to see shit. Yeah, I don't know. So MK Songbird's talking to somebody in the chat and says, you're okay with Paramount keeping a blacklist of actors they won't want to work with? Who are you talking to? Me? What the hell are you talking about? No. I guess he's talking to somebody else. They must be having a conversation. Sometimes I walk in and I see people talking to each other and I think it's to me. It doesn't make any sense why it would be to me. So anyway, so what do you guys think about this? You think this makes sense that they'd be scared? Do you think that Paramount, are you hoping, you crossing your fingers, the Paramount thing doesn't happen? Put your thoughts in there. Let me know. It's the easiest thing in the world for me to do is talk about how much I love True Classic. I love True Classic. They're just the best. I wear them everywhere. I'm wearing one right now. The guys at True Classic, they started with a simple mission. You bring premium, comfortable clothing to the masses because looking good and feeling great, it shouldn't come with a designer price tag. And clearly people agree, myself included, with over 25 million shirts sold to 5 million customers, more than 200,000 5-star reviews. True Classic has become a staple in closets everywhere. The brand's not just about fabric or fit. It really is about confidence. I walk into a room and I feel good wearing my True Classic gear. That's what makes True Classic the perfect gift this holiday season. Doesn't matter if you're shopping for your dad, your brother, your partner, and now even women and kids. True Classic has something for everyone. The same premium comfort and perfect fit that build the brand are now available for the whole family. They fit where they should, they feel incredible, and they don't break the bank. Yet, you get the tailored look without sacrificing comfort or blowing the holiday budget. I wear them. I wear jeans, True Classic. I wear shirts, True Classic. I'm getting a hat for myself for Christmas. Skip the guesswork and the overpriced designer stuff. Give comfort, give confidence, give True Classic. You can find them anywhere. You go to Amazon, you go to Target, you go to Costco, you go to Sam's Club. But you got to head on over to trueclassic.com/Christian to grab the perfect gift for everyone on your list. I promise you, this will be the best gift you give anyone this holiday season.